Hello everybody, it's me, MrSneakyy, and today we have got an amazing double whammy video today. We're going to be covering the Elite Raid Hydra and the Elite Raid Magma, so we'll have everything you need to know in the description. So if you're looking for timestamps for each individual raid, just look in the description. You'll be able to just skip forward into each one and watch each individual thing. So yeah, we're going to be covering these two, so stay tuned for more information and the gameplay commentary on both raids. Yes, so it is me, MrSneakyy, today. We're going over first the Elite Raid for the Hydra. This one is a lot harder than you might expect. The big modifier that you guys need to be aware of is the 20% damage reduction on all range units, because as you can see, the archers do deal the most damage, and even though we are nuking it, the one thing that you'll notice if you are struggling against this one big Hydra, and it's the big top tip of the video, as you're going to notice on screen, is every single time this Hydra drops any of the stones, so this is the red ones as you can see, which is just dropped now, or any of the green ones, you have to take them, just because the damage you lose throughout the fight, because you take little bits of damage from the poison plus from like the crevice attacks, as you're going to see, you lose a bit of troop count, and that damage you lose, you need to get back no matter what. It's always a must in this fight. You always have to survive all the way through. If you can't survive, you should be checking out some of my guides on these raids, because they're exactly the same. It's just the modifiers just make it a little bit more difficult, because you know, you need to have more damage, or you might need more maneuverability, you know, you might have to have a bit more awareness. So the Hydra one is all about more damage and understanding how it works. So as you can see, we are dealing an absurd amount of damage at the minute, which is great, because you need to have a really good opening, as I always call it. And then when you go into like the mid phase now, it's all about being able to continue that momentum, as you're going to see with the healing on the left side, which we're going to trigger around about now, which is in a great time window. And then once you get this healing done, you want to be claiming again all the red stones, and anyone who can claim it, if they're free to, should be doing it now, just because you can get that cleanse off straight away and still have the 25% damage buff. And getting that buff, guys, is very key. I don't think you guys realize getting the red stones is very key in this fight. It allows you to obviously deal 25% more damage with your march, and that means your artifact also deals 25% more damage when you activate it. Also, one big key factor, if you're forgetting, is every time you don't pick up one of these red stones, a massive stack of poison will get applied to everyone. So obviously, if you've already got 2 or 3 stacks, and that puts you into the danger zone now in the 5, 6, 7 range, you're gonna start feeling it if you don't get that heal off, and you're gonna die. And the one thing you can't do, and that is the spoiler I've kept towards the end of the fight, which is, as you might have seen, that we've only lost 1 member so far, but if you do die during this Hydra raid, you do heal it for a certain amount. I think it's 2%. If you check at the beginning of the video again, it does show you that introduction on how many modifiers there is, what the modifiers do, and obviously the frame that we're going for with the 6-minute 30 timer. So that's basically all the information you're going to need. If you're looking for what marchers to bring, always bring your best march. For me, if you're a very good archer player like myself, you should be bringing a Nico Guanwin for this, because it is the most damage you can bring in a single DPS raid, especially with the correct talent setup. And if you can't bring that, it's always going to be a Waldia Lilia, and if you don't have Lilia, I would always recommend a Waldia and Atheist combo, because you do need that single target DPS and raid gen to keep pumping out your burst quicker than having someone like Alowin that just does a little bit more damage over time, where it's just not as relevant in the fight, as we've basically seen through a lot of testing on the Flame Dragon today, and you know, other days. So it's been a great few weeks. Well, the first opening week of the Elite Raids. I hope you enjoyed the Hydra raid. You can see we are closing down now. We are in the 3rd phase of basically the crevices. So as you know, every single time you go into this crevice stage, more crevices appear, as you can see, and also he spits out more of the acid, as you can see. So now it went from 1 to 2, and now because we're on the 3rd phase, he shoots 3 out. So it is very deadly if you're not paying attention. But right here, we are going for the kill. As you can see, while we're on the cracks, it's very good coordination. We're going all the way down to 280k, almost at 250k, dropping 230. Oh, it's so fast. It's so much damage that's getting applied so quickly. Now it's the healing stage, so we're going for the healing stone. I grabbed the red stone, I believe, but someone beat me to it, and then grab the healing, which is really good because then we get the cleanse and we have the damage buff on, and you get probably about 2 seconds worth of damage if you can time it right, if you're really fast. But as you can see, we're all in the damage, like bloodshed now. There's 27 of us alive, and we're going for full focus, full attacks on this. We're trying to kill it. It's down to 150k, down almost 130k. It gets healed up to 170 from someone dying. It's back down to 130k again. It's a very close fight here. People are dying when you can't be. You need to be leaving here. But as you can see, we're pushing 70, 60k, 50k, 51, 49. We're going for the kill plus as well. We need the cracks at the same time. So we have one priority. We know we can't cover every crack here, but we need to cover some, so we can focus on the last 30k in the last 10 seconds, which we're able to do. As you can see, we're pushing 3, 2, and 1, and there we go. We get the amazing kill within the 6-minute 30 time window, which is the one where you're looking for, boys. And we hit it with rank 11 damage here. Remember, I'm not a whale, but with that, we do get, as you're about to see, all the rewards, which is the gems, plus that amazing frame, which I do love. I do love this Hydra. I think it's like my second favorite out of all the frames. But now we're on to the main event, the big, if you want to call it, main event boxing, you know, the pay-per-view, which is the big Magma raid. So as you can see, to get more 25% more stats, we get a 20% reduction in our rage, and every time they kill one of you, they get 0.5% damage increase. And then as you can see, that frame, that is what we're all aiming for. So you have to kill them within 8 minutes. It works pretty much the exact same. The only other difference compared to the first one, if you've ever fought the Magma raid compared to this one, is the runes. So compared to before, as I said in chat, I think we want to go on 2, and you do want to move on 2. And what that means is, if you're looking at the top left corner where my Nico bar is, you can see the number 1 with the green icon. I already move a bit soon when I don't need to, just because I'm just getting basically ready myself. But basically I test if it's better to move on 2 or 3, because in the elite raid, the runes deal 50% more damage, meaning before, when you moved on 3 because you couldn't move on 4, it might mean you need to make a step down. And as you can see here, I start taking a bunch of damage when I do go to 3 stacks eventually. So I do confirm it here on the video so you can see it. But from that one little experience of taking 3 stacks, I never take 3 stacks again. I always stay on the number 2 spot, and then from that number 2 spot, I'm able to basically rotate around and maintain the maximum amount of health and the maximum amount of DPS I can deal with my Archer March, right? So if you're looking at what to do here, I'll give you guys the rundown, because this fight is very simple, to be honest. It's very, very simple. You start out at one of the 4 quadrants if you're a DPS, and your role is to focus, obviously, that demon. Once that demon is focused down for so long, you'll notice on the top left corner, you'll get a stack. And on the non-elite raid, you want to stay inside the zone, the big circle zone, to deal damage. And when you hit 3 stacks, you leave that area and you rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on however your line, likes to do it. And then once you rotate, you then DPS that behemoth down, right? So you're basically taking it in turns, one at a time, on each of the 4 demons, and by doing so, you rotate and manipulate the stacks of runes on you so you don't take any damage. if you're a tank player, it's the exact same concept. There's 2 tanks to each of the demons, and you basically have your starting tank in there that tries to draw aggro to make sure the DPS don't get hit by any of that nasty AoE effects. But then when he gets his stacks, he would leave and his partner takes over, while obviously their stacks are reducing, and he might move over to the next behemoth, right, and tank it for the other team. So you just keep rotating around and you just work among yourselves. It's a very nice, very teamwork orientated behemoth fight. So as you can see from that guide explanation, we've got the fight down to halfway through. I did a little misclick there, as you can see, hitting my farm march that's inside Yessen. So thank you for holding that, because I needed him to hold that for the teleports around. But we're going back into the fight. I do walk through a little bit of damage, you can see, and now I'm on the stacks, and I'm taking a bunch of damage for doing so, because I'm on 3 when I shouldn't be in there when I'm on 3. So I move immediately back over to where I'm meant to be, and I'm on 2 now. And by doing this, as you can see, I experimented for the video, just there, a little bit live, just to see for you guys how it works, you know, a little bit of the mechanics. But yeah, if you want to move on the 2 stacks instead of the 3 stacks, perfectly fine. You're just moving around a little bit quicker, and you're dealing a bit more damage to everyone, you know, a little bit faster. That's all it is. So you want to keep doing this. As you can see, we've got them all down to about 1 million or lower. We've got the Devastator down to 500k, and the others are at around 1 million. And we're doing a fantastic job. As you can see, this raid isn't too difficult. You've got to kill it within 8 minutes. And as you can see, we've almost done it within half the time, which is just outstanding as a teamwork, as you can see. But as you can, one moment in the chat, if you pay attention, the Meat Doctor does shout, "Get stoned." He was one of the main tanks. If you are a main tank, you need to put that in the chat, because any of the DPS that in that zone and you're tanking and you need that healing to refresh all the stacks off you, and to obviously give you back max health so you can continuously keep tanking that damage, then you need to go and heal for them, right? So don't ignore the call. So with that in the motion, as you can see, we've got 3 up, one of them is down, so I am now looking for the rotation, obviously seeing the one on the left is dead, and now meaning I have to move diagonally back up to where I originally started. And we're doing a fantastic job here, and because you've got obviously only 3 left, they're going to be dealing a little bit more damage, because they've got obviously the 25% more stats on top of the way the raid generally does work, right, with one dying. But the fact is, not many of us have died yet. We're still above almost 60, about 60% worth of troops out of the alliance that have participated, and we're about to focus down the last 3. We're at 400k, 300k and 500k health on each of the 3 behemoths, and as you can see, the main majority is focusing down the Reaper. It's down to 250k already. It's going down almost to 200k within the next second, and the others are catching up at 400k, so there's a nice little balance between them. And I'm about to do my rotation, as you can see, yet again, and it's just nice, simple, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, we are going to do this within the time limit. We're doing a fantastic job, so anyone who is obviously still listening all the way to the end of the video, thank you for listening. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like and comment. More videos like this and future frames, as you can see, are going to be on show. So far I do have all of them apart from the Flame Dragon and Necro, just because that Necro is a bit bugged at the moment, so we do have to excuse it during the recording time of the video. But the Flame Dragon is just a little bit harder to kill. So there we go, we're at the last stretch now, the last 200k on the big fatty. Everyone's put in the GGs in chat, because it was beautiful teamwork. We had over 1 minute almost left. As you can see, we're coming down to 115k, 100k, 90, 80. It's almost 10k damage a second, 20k damage a second. Boom, and there we go. 7 minutes and 25 is the kill timer, with 1 minute and 35 seconds to spare. So that was beautiful, beautiful timing. So as you can see, beautiful. I hit only rank 21 in that one just because, as you see, I took a little bit more damage, but I'm still in the top 20% of players in DPS. So that is the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to show the frame, but that is me, MrSneakyy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.